Alright folks, welcome back to Brazilian Wood Depot's YouTube channel. My name is Sam and I go over everything regarding Brazilian hardwood decking, siding, and flooring. I'm really excited to bring out this updated video of Ipe deck maintenance. Of course, it's going to be relevant to all Brazilian hardwoods. You may remember about a year ago or so I put out a Ipe deck maintenance video. That video is still great, but we've got some new products. Mesmer's changed their product line a little bit. We got rid of the liquid cleaner. This is going to be the star of the show today, the part A and B powder concentrate formula. I'm going to go over what it's all about, how to use it, but before we go any further, let's roll the intro. Alright, so like I said, I've already put out one Ipe deck maintenance video, and that video is still good. You can still refer to that, but I'm going to kind of go over some of the same things that I went over in that video, but with a slight change. One of the products is no longer being made. It may come back to market at some point, but anyways, we may not carry it because I like this one so much better. So the way I'd like to get started is to talk about different deck conditions and go through what process is fairly standard for those deck conditions. So the first condition is you just got a new deck. I mean, it was just finished built and the contractor left. It doesn't have any oil. So your question to me, or a common question from customers, is do I need to clean it before I oil it? That's really going to be largely up to discretion. I mean, if it's dirty, if it's got work boot footprints on it all over the place, then yes, I recommend probably cleaning it with some light detergent. Something that you can find at Home Depot. I think there's one called Bare All-Purpose Wood Cleaner. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to stop this and we'll be right back. Alright, so yeah, dirty footprints, stuff like that on a new deck, a brand new build, you could probably use something, a simple wood detergent, Bare All-Purpose Wood Cleaner. I'll put an image over here, but I think it's called All-Purpose Wooden Deck Cleaner. That's fine. It's a light detergent. You probably don't even need that. You can probably use a push broom. Perhaps yours is on a pole, mine isn't. You could use a push broom and some water and just knock it off. That's really it. Let it dry, then use the oil. I've talked about this before. There's some products that you can use outside of this particular one, but not many. Most of them would be the incorrect product. We think Mesmer's UV Plus is the best. So if it's a brand new deck, just get the dirt off. I mean, you probably don't even need soap. Just go straight to the oil, UV Plus, and make sure you follow my guidelines that are on our website. Don't put it on too thick. Follow the temperature ranges that you should be putting it on, and never leave a rag in an empty can. It will catch fire. Alright, the next deck condition, I guess we'll say, I'm going to go over is the standard dirty deck. So this deck might be 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and maybe it's been cleaned a couple times here and there, but it's a standard dirty deck. It's got dirt in it, but it's not been neglected for, let's say, 15 or 20 years, but it's dirty. It needs to be cleaned. So before, I think I probably said to use that Mesmer's liquid cleaner. I think it's called Liquid Brightener Renewer. Anyways, it's a green liquid jug. They don't have that anymore. I heard some speculation that maybe they stopped making that at the beginning of COVID because of the run on sanitizer, hand sanitizer, and they needed the alcohol for the formula. I really am not sure exactly. Maybe that's it, maybe not. But in any case, as soon as they stopped having that available, they had these available. And I was a little skeptical because I know that granules are a little bit harder to mix with water. Sometimes it requires warm water to do it. But I got to tell you, I'm super thrilled about this product. Yes, it's a part A and then a part B to be used separately. In other words, you'll mix one with water and then you'll mix the other one with water after you're done with the first one. This is A, it's got the white cap. B, it has the black cap. I am very pleased about that, and I'm excited to show you what I did to the table that I'm standing next to. It was in just horrendous condition. It's sitting here next to our ramp, getting all sorts of dirt on it because it's here at the shop, in our parking lot, really. And it gets all sorts of dirt on it, and my dad said, no, you won't be able to clean this, and I kind of took that as a challenge, so I'm really excited to show you that video in a minute. But again, standard dirty deck, this is a fabulous, fabulous product. We carry it. I'm sure you can get it some other places, but I believe each jar is supposed to do 600 square feet approximately on its own, but of course I really think you should be using them together. I don't want to go into too great a detail because the labels on these are exactly correct. I don't think it really requires a whole lot of explanation, but if you go to Mesmer's website, you can see the directions they have on the website. It's pretty simple. All right, so I guess the last condition of a deck condition that I want to briefly go over would be what I call almost dilapidated. That's not the right word. Seriously forgotten about for many years, and really I think that's the condition this thing was in. I really don't see any condition of a deck getting worse than this. So again, I mean, it's really the same process. I'm going to recommend doing the A and then going to the B. The only difference with a deck that's really neglected, that was the word I was looking for, neglected, is perhaps you have a palm sander handy, maybe even a belt sander, but I really caution you against going too hard on the belt sander. I really kind of caution against using it really at all, but there might be a reason to be using it. But a palm sander with 60 or 80 grit will help you get some of those areas that the scrubbing just wasn't quite as effective at. I didn't even do it on this deck because I was so, or on this table rather, I was so impressed about how the part A and B did that I can see some areas over there that you can't see from the camera that if I took a 60 or 80 grit orbital sander, a little palm sander like a Ryobi, I really think I could have knocked some of that off and made this just that much better. But again, I didn't take the steps to do that. In any case, old dilapidated, neglected deck, part A, just like the label says, then part B, just like the label says, and then the oil, basically just like the label says. Make sure, again, keep it really thin coat, and before you do the oil, check and see if there's some spots you can take a palm sander to and see what results you get. Again, caution against the belt sander. Yes, you can use it, but be careful. Don't go too hard on it. I don't want you to have any like indents in the deck because you just went too crazy with the belt sander. I really think you should start with the palm sander at 60 or 80 grit and see where you're at. You'll probably be pretty happy with that after using these two and the palm sander, and then go straight to the oil. Okay, I think I've gone over everything. It's a much shorter video than last time, just because I think these two, with this one and two products, go together so well and they work so well. There's just not a whole lot to say. So I'm going to cut over to me cleaning this, and I'll do some voiceover with that and kind of explain what I'm doing. And then I guess we'll do the oiling take of this table. So yeah, here we go.
And just take a second to look at the condition of this. I mean, this is as dirty as a deck gets. You can't even really tell what species it is. It turns out it is Garapa. Of course, you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it yet. What I've got here is the part A of the powders mixed in with some warm water, and I'm just spraying it down just like the label says. Get it nice and wet, leave it wet for a couple minutes, keeping it wet, and then start scrubbing. So I've got this blue scrubber. I give this white one a shot here, but no, that one doesn't work. So back to the blue one. I think if you're on a deck that's not this bad, you could probably use a push broom with some stiff bristles and probably get some pretty good results from it. This one, obviously I can't use a push broom because I'm not really can't really stand on it, but get better leverage too with the little scrubby. And immediately you can start seeing that this is really doing a good job at lifting the dirt up. And then just rinse and repeat. Try to keep it wet. It's a good thing to do this. A good time to do it is when the sun's not all the way out. Maybe there's some overcast, because it's easier to keep the deck wet. If it's a real hot day with bright sun, it's going to keep drying it up, and then you have to use more of the formula. But it's a little overcast right now, so. And this is the hardest part, just scrubbing it. The oiling is easy. The part B obviously is easier, just spraying something on, but this is the hardest part here, and it's really not that hard. So rinse again. Directions say to rinse off part A after you're done scrubbing. So I'll do exactly that. I'm just going to rinse it off. There. Now for part B. Mix that just like you did the first time in the sprayer, and look at that immediately as the part B touches it, it starts brightening it up. By the time this is over, it will be really, really nice looking. Really impressed with the part B. and then I think you're supposed to rinse that off too, which I did. And as you can see, this looks like a whole new different table. I've put the original picture of it, how it looked before I started cleaning it, in the corner there, so you can see the difference, and it's just amazing. I didn't work on this very long. In fact, it didn't take me long at all. I could have done some sanding in some areas, like at the ends of these boards, for instance. So it's not perfect, but it is pretty impressive. So in a minute here, I'm going to oil this. I just wanted you to take a look at it before I put the oil on and really look at the difference between what it looks like now and what it looked like before I cleaned it. Alright, so once the decking boards were completely dry, and now it's time for the oil. So as you see, I'm just using a cotton t-shirt rag and Mesmer's UV Plus Natural, which of course is what we recommend. I'm using a cotton t-shirt rag, which works fine. Perhaps it would have been a little faster with a paintbrush. I think it probably would have, but I didn't want to get a paintbrush dirty, and I'm not sure that I had one handy, so I just used this cotton t-shirt rag. Another couple of good products that are worth the investment, I think, if you have a Brazilian hardwood deck, is a deck boss, which you can find on Amazon. It's basically an extra big paintbrush head on the end of a pole, or a deck pad. I think the deck boss does a little better getting into the cracks. But either way, it's really, really easy. It's just wipe on, and again, make sure you're not putting it on too heavy, and follow those instructions that are on our website.
All right, folks, just finished with the oiling, and oh my God, am I impressed. I really am. I impressed myself, but mainly I'm impressed with the Mesmer's A and B cleaning product. I knew the oil was gonna work well, but that cleaning product just really blows me away. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I have more coming up. I'm gonna grab the camera and do one quick overview. Again, by no means is this perfect. It wasn't meant to be perfect. Frankly, I can't really believe it worked this well. But yeah, let me pick up the camera and we'll do one more shot.